You got me running in circles, don't know where my mind goes. You know I'm so patient when it comes to you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fitriani from Group 3. As the first speaker, now I will like to explain about the history of the Netherlands. The history of the Netherlands is the history of the maritime nation that grows and developed in the Low Island area of the Delta River, which is embraced into the North Sea in the northwest of the European continent. The Netherlands history has noticed with a period of 4 centuries when this area became the border of the Roman Empire of the military guard. In 1433, Adipati Burgundia, has managed to control the entire Low Island area in the Holy Logatheria and established the Swapraja Dutch of Burgundia. This Swapraja region covers an area that is now a region of the Netherlands, Belgium, France. Pada zaman keemasan negeri Belanda yang mencapai puncaknya sekitar tahun 1667, terjadi perkembangan di bidang usaha dagang, industri seni rupa, dan ilmu pengetahuan. Dutch countries developed into a prosperous empire that controlled the colonies in various world corners and East India's trade, and the Dutch Company appeared as one of the oldest and foremost national trading companies that the United Administration and Trade efforts. Pada abad ke-18, kemakmuran negeri Belanda merosot. The country weakened due to repeated fighting against strongest neighboring countries, namely Britain and France. Negeri Belanda bersikap netral pada Perang Dunia Pertama, tetapi tetap saja diserbu dan diduduki oleh Jerman pada saat Perang Kedua. Nah, Jerman beserta Germanes and his attack arrived and killed almost all Dutch Germans. Nah, pada zaman es terakhir, negeri Belanda merupakan daerah beriklim tundra dengan vegetasi yang jarang dan penduduknya bertahan hidup dengan bermata pencaharian sebagai pemburu dan peramu. Nah, selepas zaman es, negeri Belanda didiami berbagai kelompok masyarakat kebudayaan batu tua. Diketahui bahwa sekitar 8.000 sebelum Masehi, kelompok masyarakat berkebudayaan batu Madia bermukim di dekat Friesland. I think that's all for me. Next, my partner will continue the material. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahmawati, the second speaker. I'm gonna to explain about basic values in the Netherlands. There are basic values in the Netherlands. Number 1, Constitution. The constitution that applies in the Netherlands is the 1848 Constitution, which was drafted by constitutional jurist Thoberky. The Dutch Constitution focused on the power of the people. Number 2, form of state. The Netherlands is a royal state in the form of a constitutional monarchy. It is said to be a monarchy because the system of changing the head of state is to use inheritance from generation to generation. Next, number 3, leadership style. Dutch coin. Beatrix strong leadership style. Steadfast, never give up, and not the price of popularity, is more concerned with the process than the beginning and the end. Number 4, political culture. In the Dutch political system, there is a culture of compromise, parties that compromise each other to achieve their goals. Number 5, system capability. The Dutch have a better political system capability than Indonesia. This can be seen from the extractive, distributive, regulative, symbolic, domestic, and international responsive files. Next, number 6, political communication. Political communication in the Netherlands by police officers from various political parties has not always clearly communicated how the world actually works. And the last, number 7, political power. The Netherlands, which is a royal state, has no political power according to a law enacted in Parliament last year, and the kingdom is no longer mediating in negotiation to form a coalition government. The political power of the Netherlands resides in the parliament and political party. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Madina, and I'm the third speaker. Here I'm going to continue the material for my friends. That is the education system in the Netherlands. The education system in the Netherlands is very different from the education system in Asia, America, even in most European regions. As for some countries that apply education that is almost the same as the Netherlands is Germany and Sweden. One difference in the education system in the Netherlands is an old manner that has been started since education at the basic level by considering the interests and academic abilities of the student concerned increase cultural innovation. In general, the education system in the Netherlands can be categorized as follows. The first is primary and secondary education. Primary and secondary education divided become 3 points. Number 1 is mandatory since the age of 5 years, and number 2 lasts for approximately 8 years, and number 3, in the last years, students have been advised to choose the further education they will pursue. And secondly is vocational secondary education. Vocational secondary education, the fight becomes 1 point only. Number 1 is starting when students are 12 years old and required until the age of 16 years. And the third is higher education. Higher education, the fight become 2 points. Number 1 is VMBO, 4-year program, provides education that is a combination of general and vocational education, or senior secondary vocational and training. Number 2 is HAVO, 5 years, and VWO, 6 years, are selective education. 2 types of education provide direct access to the higher education system. In these majors, they can choose one of 4 majors, namely, number 1, science and technology, 2, science and health, 3, economic and society, and number 4, culture and society. To achieve good education, the Dutch government drafted the Ministry of Education, Culture and Science Minister of Marja van Bijsterveld requires teachers who teach in kindergarten to high school so that the university will reconnect. It is undeniable to achieve a good system needed very large funds. The Netherlands, in addition to providing benefits for babies from birth and children living in the Netherlands, also provide educational allowance to students, specialist general vocational school, and students. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mimi Binti Ahmad as the fourth speaker. Here I am going to explain about religion, language, and art in Netherlands. The first is religion. In Netherlands, there is 50.1% population has no religion or atheist. And the next is 43.8% is Christianity, 23.6% is Catholic, 18.6% is other Christian. The next religion is 4.9 is Islam person, and the last is 1.2% is other religion. Okay, next I will explain about language in Netherlands. In Netherlands, there Dutch language. Dutch is official language in Netherlands and spoken by almost all people in the Netherlands. And the next is Frisian. Frisian is secondary official language. It was spoken in province of Friesland. The next is English and Papiamento. This was the secondary official language and it was spoken in Caribbean Netherlands. In Netherlands, there are also Dutch Low Saxon and Limburgish. Those was a regional language in Netherlands and spoken in the east, southeast respectively. Okay, next I'm going to explain about art in Netherlands. The first is painting. The Netherlands became famous for painting during the Renaissance. The artists of the Netherlands worked in several kinds of paint, including watercolor and tempera or egg-based paint. However, they were best known as master of oil painting. As we can see at the slide, they're painting example, and the title of this painting is Girl with a Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer, 1665. Okay, the next art is gold and other metal work. The Duchess of Burgundy collected vast amount of precious gold work. In addition to jewelry, their own status, bass and religious as well as fine enamel cups and spoons decorated with elaborate pictures. The next is tapestry and embroidery. It was a heavy cloth with elaborate picture woven into the fabric, were the most valued art form in the Renaissance. And the last art is illuminate and manuscript. Decoration in the margin of the books changed from plain design to realistic optical illusion, flower, and other objects that seems to cast shadow onto the page of manuscript. Actually, there are many art in the Netherlands, but I just can explain about a third of them. I think enough for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Catherine Imrana Saputri as the last speaker, and here I'm going to explain about a social custom of Netherlands. Well, the following reflections or information about Dutch culture and society might be interesting and or useful to you. It is by no means exhaustive. The first, the Netherlands has quite a horizontal hierarchy structure. Women and men have the same social status. Families are important, but to foreigners, the Dutch may seem rather individualistic. The Dutch can be quiet, straightforward, and direct. Greeting each other is by shaking hands. Friends and relatives usually kiss each other on the cheek at the 3 times. Visiting people is often by appointment and doesn't necessarily include staying for dinner as well, unless invited. Lunch is usually a cold meal in the Netherlands. In the evening, a hot meal or dinner is prepared. And then talk about activities and appointment. If you are planning to join in activities with Dutch people, it's worth remembering that they are usually very serious about their daily schedule. This means you need to be punctual. Take this tip seriously, especially when it comes to official appointments. Well, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.